Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the One Dharma Center Sunday service. My name is Ginger. This morning, 22 participants from a week-long retreat are joining our service. So together with them, we are going to practice to cultivate our calm, peaceful mind through silent sitting meditation and sutra chanting meditation. We'll begin our gathering with greeting bows to our Ilwon-sang Buddha up here, the circle Buddha. It represents our true nature within ourselves. So please join me in bowing practice in standing posture. Join your minds and hearts together, your palms together. We'll make full bows.
With gratitude, I bow to the grace of heaven and earth, honoring the infinite source of marvelous existence. With gratitude, I bow to the grace of parents, ancestors, and everyone who has given me life and nurtured me. With gratitude, I bow to the grace of fellow beings, embracing the truth of interconnectedness. With gratitude, I bow to the grace of laws, which guide us to develop justice and freedom through Dharma and universal principles.
Our practice continues with silent sitting meditation. Today, Kathleen Won-Ho-Ju will guide us with the method of the seated meditation.
Meditation is simple and easy. Sit comfortably on your mat or in a chair. Breathe in, and as you release your breath, release all the tension inside you. Open your chest and heart, stretch up tall, and align your spine. Relax your shoulders and arms, and allow your hands to gently rest on your knees. Invite your attention to your lower abdomen. This is your danjan, your chi energy field. It is the power center for your breathing. Looking straight ahead, open your eyes and let your eyelids gently relax. Allow the tip of your tongue to rest gently against the roof of your mouth, right behind your two front teeth. When your mind is concentrated and calm, pure and clear saliva will gather under your tongue, and you may swallow it. Relax your facial muscles and notice your gentle smile. If your face or body begins to itch, do not scratch. This is just a sign of the energy circulating in your body. If your legs ache unbearably, you may change position very slowly and quietly so that you maintain your calm stillness and do not interrupt those around you. When thoughts arise in your mind, do not be discouraged. Recognize they are just thoughts, and like clouds, You can watch them gently float away. Keep bringing your awareness back to your donjon. Simply focus on your breathing and your donjon energy center. If you continue practicing meditation for a long time, you will rest in the realm of samadhi. Your mind will be calm, concentrated, perfectly focused and at peace. There will be no distinction between self and others, and time or place. We are grateful to sit quietly together, finding the still point within. May we be here now, aware of our ever calm and ever alert spirit.
Sutra Chanting Meditation, page 7 and 4. Today we'll chant Ilwonsang vow both in Korean and in English. So if you are new to this Korean phonetic chanting, you can start by listening and then can join at any time. Page 7. Page 7. 일원상 서원문
일원은 하나도 단의 입정저이요 유무초월의 생사문임 전지부모 동포법률의 본원이요 대불조사본부 중생의 성품으로 능히 성유성하고 능히 성무상하여 유상으로 보면 상주불멸로 여여 자연하여 무량세계를 전개하였고 의상으로 보면 우주의 성주배공과 만물의 생로병사와 사생의 심신작용을 따라 육도로 변화를 시켜 혹은 진급으로 혹은 강급으로 혹은 은세와 해로 혹은 해생어 은으로 이와 같이 무량세계를 전개하였나니 우리 어리석은 중생은 이 법신불일원상을 제받아서 심신을 원만하게 수호하는 공부를 하며 또는 사리를 원만하게 하는 공부를 하며 또는 심신을 원만하게 사용하는 공부를 지성으로 하여 진급이 되고 은혜는 예불지언정 강급이 되고 해독은 입지 아니하기로서 일원의 위력을 얻도록까지 서원하고 일원의 재성에 합하도록까지 서원하나.
Page 4. Page 4. 일원상방
일원에서 웜업사마디 beyond words and speech the gateway of birth and death transcending being and non-being the origin of heaven and earth parents fellow beings and lost the true nature of all Buddhas enlightened masters unenlightened people and sentient beings here one manifests as both permanence and impermanence fused as permanence a one unfolds into an infinite world that is ever abiding spontaneous just as it is fused as impermanence flows into infinite worlds through the cycle of formation, duration, decay, and extinction of the universe, and the birth, aging, illness, and death of all beings, according to how we use our minds and bodies in the four forms of birth, which transform through the 6 realms of existence, progressing or regressing, with grace arising from harm or harm from grace. Therefore we unawakened beings vow to practice wholeheartedly, modeling ourselves after Ilwan Sangha Dharmakaya Buddha, by cultivating our minds and bodies deeply, knowing human affairs and universal principles thoroughly, and using our minds and bodies skillfully, thus progressing rather than regressing, and receiving grace rather than harm, until we attain the great empowerment of Ilwan and become one with the nature of Ilwan.
Now put down your booklet. Wiggle your fingers, your hands. You may put your hands on your knees. Gently stretch your upper body as you circle. Let us clasp our fingers. Push your palms out. Wiggle and palms up. And wiggle and stretch. And release your hands down. Move your shoulders. Just relax your body, your neck and head. And after having rain yesterday, I see very clearly outside the bright fall, and it is beautiful. And I'm thinking we are blessed and feel very lucky to be able to practice surrounded by this beautiful nature. And today, and also, I think I feel lucky to have 2 guest speakers who are going to share their thoughts and wisdom with us. So let me introduce our first speaker, Michael McLean, WonGong from the North Carolina Temple, with 20 years of dedicated practice in Won Buddhism. He is one of only two so far, American practitioners who hold his Dharma title. It is 형사님. You know, 죽사님, our venerable 죽사님. His Dharma title is 형사님. So this morning, 형사님 is going to share a brief talk on the relationship between the threefold practice and 일원상. Please join your palms together. Let us greet 형사님. Good morning.
Good morning. Threefold practice, Ilwan Song. Ilwan Song is a symbol. It's a symbol of Ilwan. It's a finger pointing to Ilwan. Ilwan Song, I should say. So, what is Ilwan? Simply put, Ilwan is the universe. All of the universe, everything in it is Ilwan. Sentient beings are an expression of Ilwan, and also they express Ilwan. I can't speak to all sentient beings. In fact, I can't probably speak to any of them, but I'm going to talk a little bit about what I think is human beings. Human beings can express Ilwan, they can recognize that they are an expression of Ilwan, but they don't usually. Sorry about the wiggling. They don't usually recognize they're an expression of Ilwan. They think they're separate and alone, and they suffer. But they can recognize that they are an expression of Ilwan. They can find their way out of suffering. All human beings, at least, suffer because they're looking for a way back to that oneness with Ilwan. Well, we're really lucky if we attend here, and there are probably other ways too, but we have a direct path back to Ilwan. And luckily this morning we're going to hear about it from Reverend WonGong. So our direct path to Ilwan is the threefold practice. Thank you.
Wow, that was really brief. Thank you so much. Now let me introduce our another guest speaker, Reverend WonGong. And she is the head Kyomunim, one Buddhist priest of the temples of North Carolina, the founder of those two temples there. As a skillful Dharma teacher, she is also authentic and at the same time so creative in her approach to applying one Buddhist teachings to people from all different walks of life. So while I was working with her, I used to refer her as so creative or creative soul. So that was her nickname from me. And today she'll give us a presentation and Dharma talk on our powerful tool for spiritual cultivation. Our powerful tool for spiritual cultivation. Now please welcome Reverend WonGong with your joins, with your palms together. With our big smile, let us greet Reverend WonGong. Good morning.
안녕하세요. Good morning. So nice to be here. Do I look tall? Our power tool for spiritual cultivation. Power tools. Power tools. What comes to your mind when you think of power tools? Probably, no matter what you imagined, it had an external power source from gas or electricity. What power tools do you use most often? Let's see. Power tools. Is this power tool? Oh, that's right. He turned on power. Now it can be a power tool. Wow, look at the power tools. I love gardening, and there is a wonderful Korean garden tool called homi. This was my toy in the farm field when I was growing up, and now I use this all the time to make our temple garden beautiful. I'm the power source of my homi. I use the homi so often that my arm muscles are quite strong. Today, let's think about the power tool within each of us that can make our mind muscle strong. Threefold study or threefold practice. Pause. Think. Manifest. Reverend Tavin recognized I'm short, so he paused and he thought, and he brought little extra step. Then Reverend Joy recognized this step can be slippery and I can fall. So she paused. She thought she brought a mat under this extra step. Have you heard the Eightfold Path? The very last one of the Four Noble Truths. So many numbers in Buddhism and Won Buddhism. Please read. Right view. Right speech, Shila. Right conduct, Shila. Right life. Right dedication, Samadhi. Right mindfulness, Samadhi. Right concentration, Samadhi. In the Four Noble Truth, life is suffering, all is suffering. If you follow this Eightfold Path, we can alleviate from suffering. But for Eightfold Path, for me, it's too many to memorize. So I appreciate that Eightfold Path can be condensed into threefold training. Can you notice different colors? Okay. Prajna, Shila, Samadhi. Threefold practice with the traditional Buddhist terms, Samadhi, which can mean equanimity, one-pointedness, settled mind. Prajna, insight, wisdom, understanding of emptiness and interdependence or interconnectedness. If you really feel and understand that we are all interconnected, you have a prajna. Shila, precepts, ethics, skillful behavior. So traditional term of the threefold practice in Buddhism, Samadhi, Prajna, Shila, Sanskrit words. How then, what is the difference or common ground between traditional Buddhism and Won Buddhism in terms of a threefold practice? So here is my question that I want you to think about. How has threefold practice of Won Buddhism expanded traditional Buddhist thought? You can imagine Won Buddhism started only 108 years ago, so it has more modern elements for manifesting threefold practice. One, cultivating the spirit. Traditional Buddhism, absorption or samadhi emphasizes meditative concentration at designated times of rest. In Won Buddhism, we call cultivating the spirit, in Korean, su-yang, training our calm, clear state of mind, not separate from true nature, whether we are at rest or in action. So we ultimately go to the level timeless Zen, placeless Zen. Timeless Sun, placeless Sun. What about number 2 of threefold practice, inquiry? In traditional Buddhism, wisdom, prajna, is explained as insight which is generated from our true nature. In Won Buddhism, inquiry into human affairs and universal principles, that's another nickname for the second part of the threefold practice in Won Buddhism. This includes uncovering our innate wisdom as well as gaining knowledge of human affairs and universal principles. So if you're listening to news, if you're listening to gossip in everyday mundane conversation, we can attain wisdom. Wisdom is everywhere. What about the number 3, choice in action? Traditional Buddhism's term is called precepts. Shila, literally, are derived from the text of the Vinaya, which focus on the individual practice of observing the precepts. So, some tradition, many 500 precepts, 250 precepts in Won Buddhism. How many? 30 precepts. You're lucky, you have only 30. What does mean by in Won Buddhism about this third part of the threefold practice is called choice in action, 취사. This goes beyond the precepts to the practice of a mindful choice in everyday life for self-cultivation, regulating the family in harmony, governing the nation, and realizing peace in the world. So can you see how has the threefold practice extended the concept of traditional Buddhism? Can you see? If you do, please nod. Otherwise, there are, as a lot of you are well aware, two gateways of cultivating spiritual power in Won Buddhism. One door, gratitude door. Gratitude practice by deeply realizing and understanding and embodying the fourfold practice. Second door, mind practice door, by truly understanding threefold practice, not only with our head, but down to our heart level, down to our whole body action level. That's the way to cultivate spiritual power in Won Buddhism. Mind practice. How to use our minds is the key teaching in Won Buddhism. So if somebody asks you, oh, I noticed you've been going to Won Dharma Center, you've been studying Won Buddhism, what do you do over there? You can simply answer, learning and practicing how to use my mind. That's what I do, and that's the right answer. I believe. Is it true, Reverend Yu? She said yes. What are the three elements of mind training? The threefold practice, our power tool for spiritual development. Cultivation of one's true spirit, that means calm our minds. That's what we do. 25-minute meditation, Sunday morning. Calm our minds. Second, inquiry into human affairs and universal principles. Study the true nature of our world and ourselves so we can discern wisely. You are not locked in only with the idea and your notion of your self-world. You come here deeply, listen to a Dharma, and you expand your understanding of yourself and the world. And then lastly, mindful choice and action. Use our calm, focused mind and wisdom to act skillfully, compassionately, and manifest blessings in everyday life. You got it. 3 steps to mind practice can be very simplified this way if there are too many words and words and words for you. Pause, think, act. Pause even for 1 second. Pause even for 3 deep breaths. And think, and then act. That's the 3 steps, threefold practice, the power tool of our mind we can cultivate. So we are crossing the road safely. Master Chongsan said, the main purpose of cultivation is to nurture the true nature by recognizing and letting go of delusive thoughts. The main purpose of inquiry is to hone wisdom by investigating the original source of all things. So if you have a mind of questioning, if you have a curious mind, that's a really good thing. Rather than, I know all, I don't have to question. But I am curious, I don't know, don't know mind. The beginner's mind, the investigating mind, curiosity, curious like a cat. The main purpose of choice is to embody the middle way by choosing skillful response and forsaking reactivity and extremism. It's not easy, but we can do it. So let's take a good mental note. The threefold practice. Like the three legs of stool, we need all three for mental and spiritual stability. Can you see it if one of the stool leg is a little short and wobbly? It's very dangerous. So you can think about what's my strongest link, what's my weakest link out of the threefold practice. Some of you may like to meditate, some of you may like to study the Dharma. Meditation is so hard. Then please talk to your Kyomunim, Reverend, or your peer Dharma friend. How can I really, find a way to enjoy my meditation? Or I don't want to talk about Dharma. I don't like Dharma study at all. Then how can I find the joy out of it? So we can create the good balance of the threefold practice. We developed three great powers from this balanced and integrated practice. They are the power tools for our realization of our true nature. Who would like to enjoy your true nature? Who? Yay, 2 hands. Then use this tool, threefold practice. Ultimate bliss is experienced when we are united with our true nature. And it's expressed as Ilwansang, the truth of Ilwansang, one circle, the symbol of our true nature. Then what's the relationship, as Michael briefly shared? The threefold practice, Ilwansang mind. We know our true mind. Our true mind is originally perfect, complete, utterly impartial and selfless, like Ilwansang. We nurture our true minds, perfect, complete, utterly impartial and selfless, like Ilwansang. We use and utilize and implement our true minds, perfect, complete, utterly impartial and selfless, like Ilwansang. Threefold practice is directly directed to uncover and cultivate and utilize our true nature within, the great treasure within. And this great treasure sometimes can be really buried, and it can be all mixed with the other minerals, and we cannot see the jewel. To excavate this jewel, we practice daily, threefold practice. Then shining gem reveals our true nature shines. Oh, more contemplation. Thank you for this technology of the PowerPoint. Why the threefold practice? Okay, the first approach, to be united with the three attributes of our true nature. Voidness, gong, gong. Voidness, empty of all things, nature of empty of all things. We cultivate pure, clear awareness to be united with the attribute of the original, our true nature, that is empty of all thoughts, empty of self, empty of judgments. Gong, gong. Second, one, completeness. Thorough understanding through inquiry help us to see 360-degree angle rather than one angle. If you touch, there is a story, if you touch the elephant, huge elephant, you touch the leg, and elephant can be defined as a big paw. If you touch the elephant ear, elephant is like a fan. But can you see the whole elephant? Can you see this 360-degree angle? So sometimes we hear somebody saying about this, and then it can be partial. Do we hear every fact before we act or respond? Completeness means well-roundedness, complete understanding, thorough understanding of every angle through inquiry, contemplation. Chong, literally translated as a rightness, but that means skillful, mindful choice and action. So Gong, Wan, Zhang. Because of the three attributes of our true mind, we practice the threefold practice: equanimity, clarity, and clear understanding, discernment, and then mindful choice in action. Another approach, why do we practice threefold practice? Because of this, our human nature, we can be so kind and lovely, but we can be sometimes mean with this three poison mind, anger, delusion, and greed. So to eliminate three poisons, we practice the threefold practice. One, we can remind our mind is originally free from anger. We can remind our mind is originally free from delusion, and our mind is originally free from greed, wrongdoings. Because original true nature is free from this three poison mind. That's why we practice the threefold practice. Gone. Dropped off. In our lives, we are measuring the threefold practice, cultivating the spirit, inquiry into human affairs and universal principles, mindful choice in action. In this course of study, there are 11 training subjects to master as we progress. By coming to Sunday Dharma service, we do chanting, seated meditation, we listen to the Dharma, contemplation, all this. If you also join this week-long retreat, we do chanting, sitting meditation, studying scripture. You will have a 1-minute speech, whether you like it or not. That's Dharma lecturing, Dharma conversation with a small group. We will contemplate koan, and we think about deeply what does true nature mean, reflective Dharma journaling every evening and sharing, and mindfulness. And so this all threefold practice through the 11 training subjects, we are really empowering. So then you get to have 3 great powers: the power of cultivation, the power of inquiry, the power of choice in action, which can be also expressed the power of equanimity, the power of wisdom, the power of mindful action. 2 aspects of 3 great powers by Venerable Jeongsan. He said, accumulation refers to the practice of internally gathering and storing the 3 great powers when we are at rest, like at the service, like here, or at the retreat. Utilization refers to the application of the 3 great powers when we are in action. No matter how much we have internally accumulated the 3 great powers, if we are unable to put them to use, then we are like a spindly tree that grows in the shade. Likewise, unless we also work on accumulation, we need to deposit in our power account. Our practice of utilization will lack vitality and be like a tree with weak roots. By practicing accumulation and utilization in tandem, we perfect the 3 great powers. Sotaesan, the founding teacher of Won Buddhism, said, practitioners must anchor themselves in the threefold practice as they face thousands of sensory conditions. Do you really have 1,000 sensory conditions per day, or 100, or 10, or 5? Thousands or countless? He said, the threefold practice functions like a compass or a helmsman. How do you say helmsman? When sailing a ship, if there is no compass or helmsman, the ship is not be able to sail across the sea. TZ, who lives in TZ now? What about PZ? These 2 buildings are great reminders of the threefold practice from morning to the end of the day. Meditate anytime, anywhere. This is the essence of threefold practice. Whether you are in the retreat or in your everyday life, the threefold practice is the most essential power tool for spiritual cultivation. I hope we all enjoy this practice journey together. Thank you. 감사합니다.
Thank you, Reverend WonGong. Let me pop quiz. What are those powerful tools for our mind, for cultivation? What is the first one? The full name. What is the full name? Yes. Then the second one. Inquiry into human affairs and universal principles. And lastly, mindful choice in action. Thank you. And that's actually the essential teachings of Won Buddhism when it comes to mind practice. And we just had like Won Buddhism 101 class for mind practice. So thank you, Reverend WonGong, for that beautiful presentation. And additionally, thank you for sharing your playful, energy with us. Thank you for that. So now we'll have just brief moment to engage in conversation to our neighbor. So please pair up to your neighbor and let us talk about how we practice these threefold powerful tools in our life. Turn to your neighbor